Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle is the sequel to the 1995 film Jumanji, and the plot takes place 21 years after the events of the first film, but 20 years since the film started. So the film takes place in 1996. The board game is found alongside the beach by this young boy, who then takes it home with him and decides to play his video game, a PlayStation 4, in 1996. Yep, there was a PS4 controller in 1996. Thank you, Sony. Thank you. Anyways, the board game notices he plays said video game, and that night while the boy is asleep, the board game evolves into a video game cartridge, which he ironically has a retro system, so he decides to play it. Skip ahead 20 years later, the video game is found in a basement by 4 teenagers who are cleaning out the basement, serving detention, pretty much. So you have your football jock, you have the girl who's usually quiet, you have the girl who thinks she is so prettier than everybody else, and then you have the nerdy kid in this film. So they find it, and they decide, well, let's play it and see what happens. So once they start playing it, they pick their specific avatars. They are then transported inside the game and becomes their avatars. Nerdy kid becomes Dwayne Johnson. The pretty girl becomes Jack Black. The quiet one becomes Gillan. Oh my God. And the football jock becomes Kevin Hart. Ouch. It all makes for a very, very good time. And the only way out of the game is to play the game and complete it. Alright, with the ending phrase, Jumanji. This movie was a lot of fun. We saw this at a screening a couple of weeks ago, and it was amazing. I loved it. I love this movie. This is not the best movie. The first one is still the greatest, but only by a thread. The CGI was actually fixed a little bit better, because we saw another screening of it earlier in the year, back in the summer, and the CGI wasn't finished yet, but the CGI was finished here, and it looked good. It looked really good. So this is my second time watching Welcome to the Jungle right now. So thank you for not making this movie terrible. Now there are probably going to be those naysayers out there. They're probably going to say, yeah, this movie's bad only because of the name Jumanji alone. If this was simply called Welcome to the Jungle, it probably wouldn't get the level of hate that the trailers got from a lot of people. It was great. The comedic chemistry between Kevin Hart and The Rock is always fun to watch, especially since they're always fighting with each other in every movie they're in. This is no different for a minute. Rock, being a nerdy kid, acts like a nerdy kid. He doesn't really act like The Rock, you know what I mean? So that's cool. They act like themselves because theoretically they are themselves, just not in each other's bodies. It's Freaky Friday and Jumanji, so yeah. Nick Jonas also shows up in this movie, and I won't say what he's doing in this movie, but he has a purpose too, and his purpose, by the time the movie is over, was amazing. I love the resolution they gave his character at the end of this movie, because he deserved it, and he earned it by helping the team out as well. So Nick Jonas was actually pretty good in this movie, actually. You know, this is like the first movie I think I've ever seen him in. I'm not sure what all he's done. I'm pretty sure they were all on Disney Channel back in the day, but he still looks like a fucking kid. It's amazing how still so young he looks. I think he's mainly almost about to be in his 30s, if I'm not mistaken, if he's not already. But yeah, he was cool. He didn't annoy me. Nobody really annoyed me. The main standout of this movie was Jack Black, ironically enough, as the pretty girl who always used to think about her image. Every couple of minutes, she would have her cell phone out, taking selfies and shit like that. That annoyed the shit out of me. So the fact she got turned into Jack fucking Black was fucking hilarious. Okay? Even more hilarious, they played the card where, of course, she's a girl. So when Dwayne Johnson comes about, she's like, ooh, that is one big hunk of a man. But in her saying it, it's Jack Black. So for us, that's a little comedic chemistry because, you know, it's like gay, but it's not gay because it's a girl in a man's body. It's funny. But also, the main thread of why they're in this game and trying to get out is they can die, you know. There's a life system in this game. What happens when you reach your last life? Will you die for real and not come back out of the game? Or will you simply die and come out of the game? No one knows anything about that. They don't want to find out. Because, spoiler alert, if you care, Nick Jonas has one life left. He's had that same life for almost the amount of time he's been in the game. And I don't want to say how long he's been in the game, but let's just say he's been that way for a while and he's been afraid to complete the game because he's been afraid to die. Because he only has one life. He doesn't know what's going to happen, you know. I kind of wanted to know what would happen too if you ended up dying. I really wanted to know that concept, but they never explained that. So I was like, aw. But that was like the only gripe I had, you know. Other than that, Welcome to the Jungle is actually a pretty decent movie, and I'm going to give Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle a B+. Let me know what you guys think about Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle down below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? I will see you guys in the next one.